In a moment. You're live. And welcome to the Barrel Buddies. I'm James.
And I'm BJ. Welcome back to your weekly booze news and reviews.
Welcome back, stranger. Back in the saddle.
Who am I?
Who are you again?
Who's this guy? Where am I?
It's been a while. I'm sure everyone is
Hello?
glad to see you back in the saddle. Welcome back, BJ.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to the Barrel Buddies compound.
It's been a minute. In fact, we were just talking. We were just talking about how I haven't been here in like a month.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while
because we've been live on scene. We've been doing remotes, and then I was gone, and then James had to do the show alone.
Yep.
So thanks for holding it down.
Yeah. We had a good show last week.
So I heard everybody was talking the pause on the show, all the positive reviews.
Yeah, thank you. We tested the waters, dipped our toes in the water with 1792.
And look at the collection you have.
Well, that's the thing. So I was kind of at a weird crossroads. So I was like, it's like you have so much, but you really don't know where to start. Like, I'm like, what am I gonna do? What can I just
you started
grab
big.
off the
Good
shelf?
God.
So I said, you know what? And then I opened up the cabinet and I just saw this like slew of 1792 bottles. And I'm like, we need to start doing this. And because I don't have a lot of familiarity with it. I'm not, I don't drink a lot of Barton. We've only really experienced the Kirkland brand one, right? Like personally, and I was just kind of like, okay, what's the rave? Like, why does this
exist?
And hollering? Like, why?
Why are people buying?
Yeah, why are people buying this and spending their money on this?
What's the deal?
And so, so we tested the waters, and it was pretty awesome. So here's what we're gonna do. Here's what I figured the format of today's show. I wanted to jump into our next one, the Bottled and Bond. And I want to talk about it. We'll do an honest review of that.
Sure.
I'll pull up some information about it here in just a second.
An honest review.
And then I want to revisit, because I know people that watch this are like, oh, you started the first 30 minutes of the show talking about some from last week, and I just came here to see what the title of the video was.
Sure.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, that's fair.
I get it.
Yeah.
So then we're going to revisit it at the end of the show.
Oh, you want to go back to the single barrel?
I want to go back to the single barrel that I had last week, and I want you to sip it and rate it.
Okay.
But we're going to jump right into the Bottled and Bond.
Got you.
And for those that missed it last week, let me.
They have a nice little website. It looks like
They do. I'm gonna get that shared out here. So let me share the screen. Oh, that's quite the background noise there. Yeah, so the Bottled and Bond. Uncle P, he says, welcome back and hello
Thank
there.
You,
Good to
Punky.
see you. Good to see you.
First of all, great color. I like that they color their labels like somebody else we know.
Yeah.
Like this yellow Bottled and Bond. So for those that can't see, listen, the fronts all look the same, but the backs all have this lovely canary yellow, this custardy yellow back.
Custardy yellow.
It's custardy yellow.
So do you remember the rules of what makes something Bottled and Bond?
I do.
Do we want to start with that?
I'll let me hold on. Let me Karnak here.
Yeah, get your Karnak on. Get your Karnak on.
Let me Karnak the bottle here. Let's see. At least 50% alcohol content.
So 100 proof. Yep.
So 100 proof. Let's see. It's got to be bottled under the auspicious watch of the United States government.
Yep, a federally bonded warehouse.
At least 51% corn in the mash bill.
That is correct.
And that's all I got.
Yep, you pretty much knocked them all out there. There is one rule, which I think both of us, I don't remember this, but the whiskey must be a product of one distillation season and one distiller at a single distillery.
Yeah, I forget this one.
So no blends, no random shenanigans.
Okay, one season.
And the Bottled and Bond label must clearly identify the distillery where it was distilled and where it was bottled. Here's the thing, in my opinion, in today's day and age where there's so much obscurity as to what's what with a lot of these NDPs, they should have more Bottled and Bond bottles out there.
It's kind of shocking that they don't.
I agree with you. I mean, the reason you got to remember, we talked about this like during Prohibition time, how this Bottled and Bond moniker came about because people were making whiskey in like their bathtubs, like bathtub gin. And they were getting sick and dying from all this like crap that they were selling. And it's almost like we need to
all
come
that
around
all that
full
random
circle.
stuff. Hey, all this Amberana blending.
Oh, it's
stuff that we
Amberana
got.
blending.
All this Amberana blending.
I think it's finally jumped the shark, some of that Amberana stuff. So that's always a good thing.
Let's be honest, it definitely has. Well, let's see.
Yeah.
Can I read the back of the bottle here?
You have not. I was going to ask if that's what we want to jump into and get
In
into some details on the bottle.
1897, the bottled and bond.
Oh, really quick though, really quick.
Oh.
Uncle P, he almost bought a 1792 a few days ago.
Well, you should have
$38. That's what I'm telling you, Uncle P. If you watched the show last week, that is what I am saying right now. These Barton products are an incredible deal. And I'm going to tell you right now, this bottle and bond, $40.
Oh.
So please go ahead and start
talk about
reading
some
details. What's this label say?
All right, here. So they're going to give you a little history lesson on the back of the bottle. In 1897, the Bottled and Bond Act revolutionized the quality of American whiskey. Bourbon labeled Bottled and Bond guaranteed drinkers high-quality whiskey made by a legitimate distiller. Carrying on that tradition, this well-aged bourbon from barrels all filled during the same season was bottled at exactly 100 proof for a bold taste and a lingering finish. A testament to the Bottled and Bond Act established over 1 century ago.
There you go.
There you have it.
Well, that's I'm just trying to see here. I have the website pulled
I was just going to
up,
say, what do we know about 1792 and either their mash bill?
Well, let's go with what they say.
Product?
They're right up front. Tasty notes. Let's just go through this really quick
just
because I usually don't know if this really. It seems like every time we read this, it's not what we get. So.
I agree. I agree.
True to its heritage, the unmistakable spice of 1792 bourbon is met with the notes of charred oak and fresh mint. Interesting.
Okay.
Subtle caramel apple tones are delicately balanced with a lingering essence of coffee and black pepper.
Ooh,
and if you go, oak. Yeah, and then this is on 1792bourbon.com, by the way. 2021, they won the double gold best in category at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. And then 2020, they've had a excellent, strong recommendation. 2020 bronze, silver medal at the World Whiskey Awards.
Wow, that's quite the fall.
Bronze medal, double gold, bronze, silver, bronze at all various places. But okay. So it's got some credibility there.
I don't know about you, but I'm just dying to get into this.
I would like to get into this. So cheers, and then we'll
nice color for bottle.
Oh yeah, it does kind of have those spice notes on the. It's getting a little spice on the nose. So wow, big difference from last week from the single barrel is that I'm getting a lot more spice up front and less sweetness. I know last week I talked about sweetness, but
on this.
Interesting.
Like gingerbread spice or a spice cake. Not a lot of sweetness, very bold. They say bold, and I'm gonna say, yeah. This is bold, makes me a little nervous. So cheers. Let us know what you're
let us know what you're drinking.
Let us know what you're preferring there in the comments.
Going into a little bit more details about this. So you talked about that must be at least 51% corn. So there's a couple of web pages that I'm going through here that are saying that the mash bill, even though it's undisclosed, is most likely 74 corn, 18 rye, and 8 malted barley.
I would tell you that I can taste the high corn mash bill right on that first sip.
Yeah,
it's got it's got big corn.
Here's what's crazy: I get like
energy,
pepper and caramel. Like that's a weird nose to get on a whiskey.
I agree. The nose is not. But the nose and the flavor profile are
does that conflict?
There you go. See, that face tells you everything. That nose made me nervous.
Yeah, I was very nervous. Like, what are we getting into here?
Nervous.
What are we even doing here, guys?
But that palate is not indicative of what it's wafting up to you.
It definitely drinks bigger than a traditional bottle and bond, in my opinion. It has more meat, more weight, more depth,
it's
more
very full body
to it, full bodiedness.
Yeah, this is a full body
depth,
but big on corn. And I don't mean that in a sweet way. I mean that in like a breakfast cereal way. It's got some cereal note. It's got some cornbread note. And it does have a little spearmint and like a fresh
baked goods. I get that bakedness that you're talking about.
It's the finish, right? It's the
fresh floral
of a little fresh mint.
Do you know what's reminiscent of, in my opinion?
What's that?
4 Roses. I think this has a 4 Roses vibe to me.
Like regular Four Roses?
No, like some of the single barrel. I don't know all the recipes and blends off the top of my head, but it definitely reminds me of one of the more rye forward ones where you get a bit more of that herbalness and pepperiness.
Sure. Okay.
But there's still, because even with those Four Roses, it's not like some of those traditional ryes where they're like dilly and pepperminty and you're just like,
yeah, sure.
Ooh, okay, totally different.
It's very
wheelhouse.
Herbal.
This is way more like, you can tell it has this depth and character underlying of a like caramelly sweet whiskey, and then you get some black pepper in there, you get some of that baking spice in there, very little baking spice, but
yeah, the baking spice I think is very much on the nose, and then I think that in the palate and the taste profile, I don't get that. I was looking for the caramel apple. I don't get that at all. I don't think it's over. I know, and I don't think it's overly sweet either.
I don't know that caramel apple is the right way to say it. I would say caramel like candy, and I think it just has like not like Werther's original, but it's got a faint, I would say there's a little sweetness.
Yeah, there's a little like caramel. We've had this conversation before, right? Caramel versus caramel. Caramel is more liquidy. Caramel is something you really got to chew on. It's a little more burnt sugar.
Yeah. I usually say caramel when I'm referring to the nose, liquidy. Like a scent. And then when I'm eating something, it's like, oh, caramel corn or caramel apple. That's what I would say. I don't know. I am sure everyone's got their own different way of saying it.
No, yeah, but I think for this show, I think we talk a lot more about the burnt sugars rather than the toasted sugar, and I think that this is a little more on the warmed sugar, toasted sugar side of things.
Yeah,
I get a little bit more of a liquid sugar here, but it's not overdone. It's not over sweet.
Think about this.
It's very balanced.
Cherry skins and slight tannic tones. What do you think about that?
I disagree. I don't
get cherry skin at all.
I don't get cherry skin. I don't even get tannins. I don't think the tannin.
I get a little bit of tannic. Here. I think that is. Here's the thing.
To be fair, I have smoked a cigar prior to coming to tonight's event, and so my palate is a little off.
That's fair. Okay,
from what it normally is.
Baking spice is definitely there, and I think maybe with baking spice and pepper kind of conflicting, there might be some slight tannic.
I do get some black pepper
undertone.
There is some black peppercorn here. I feel it in my throat. Of that black, even white pepper.
Yeah,
I do get that peppery.
And not Chris Conrad, welcome to the Barrel Buddies, sir.
Thank you for remembering, Mr. Conrad. Cheers to you. This
Best Bro, how's it going? Saying hi, BJ.
Hey,
easy to get. That's a great segue into availability. So here's the thing.
Easy to get.
I don't want to say easy, because here's the thing. Most liquor stores will have 1792 on the shelf, but they have like 6, 7, 8 different varieties of it, right? There are a lot of varieties, all year long. Typically, you'll find the small batch or some store pick. So I would say, yeah, it's out there, but can I promise you that you're going to go out there right now tonight and find a bottled in bond? No.
You'll find a regular.
But if you missed the single barrel show, go back and watch it, and then we're going to move to that here shortly once we do our scores of this one. So
just as a bonus.
Yeah, what do you got? I'm going
to put some rocks in this.
How do the rocks change it? I don't think it's going to help because it's bond. I think it's going to water it down.
I'm worried about that, but it's worth the try. Just throw a little rock in there.
You also have Gamers for Life saying hi, BJ. So you're getting a lot of fans in the chat tonight.
What's up, Gamers for Life? What do you guys think of the new look? Shave for St. Baldrick's. I want to thank everyone who donated to ending childhood cancer. Thank you. Appreciate you all for that support. Even if you didn't support, you supported because you were, you watched the show. So thank you.
It's looking good, man. I think the Wooly Willy is here to stay.
You like Wooly Willy?
I like
Somebody paid $140 to shave off my eyebrows.
I was 20 of that.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
But yeah, that guy just walked up that came in clutch right at the last minute there, and everyone was like, $100 for the eyebrows. And he literally, like, the guy had his money in his hand and handed it to Phil.
I was like, oh.
At,
I didn't think it was
Curry's.
I didn't think it was going to happen.
I didn't think it was either.
Boom. It was like,
Because here's the thing, I had my 20 and I was gonna be like, I'll put in the first 20, thinking that like we'd have to get a bunch of people
we're gonna
to
have to
throw in
start
20.
People?
No, that guy walked up, hundo in hand.
Here you go.
Bam. And we're like, wow.
I'm gonna challenge you.
What do you got?
To throw some rocks in this.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll do a little.
I think that it brings out the sweetness a lot. I think it makes it taste a lot like Crown with some rocks.
Really?
Which I've been on a Crown kick. I'm not gonna lie. I am not gonna lie. I have been on a Crown kick lately.
Oh,
isn't that delightful?
That it gets a lot sweeter.
Really sweet, like immediately.
Really sweet. Whoa.
In a really pleasant way. Like not cloying, right? It's just really delightful.
This is a dangerous easy sipper when it's on the rocks.
Ooh.
That's kind of scary.
That is scary good.
The only problem, there is a little peppery. You get this pepper comes through in the aftertaste. That's where I get the slight tannic notes. I get that now.
Well,
and you know me, Jimmy Tannic. I don't like that.
Jimmy Tannic.
I look out for that.
You're gonna hit
Jimmy
an iceberg?
Jimmy Tannins, and you're gonna be BJ Tannins.
Biff
Tannins. But yeah. Younger brother Jimmy Tannins doesn't like tannins. So I know when it's something I don't like, and that aftertaste is kind of but it's so sweet forward that
it kind of overtakes.
It's like a caramel syrupy.
It is a little syrup, but syrup. When you say syrupy, are you talking about like viscosity?
Candy? No, I'm talking about like candy, like a sweet caramel, like the syrup, like you put on ice cream, like if it was the caramel syrup,
like a snow cone.
No, because you don't have that on a snow cone. You put caramel syrup on a vanilla ice cream, right? Okay.
Like a sundae.
Are you going to put caramel syrup on a snow cone? Seriously, am I missing something here? No,
have you ever put the sweetened and condensed milk?
Oh, absolutely.
On a snow cone?
Like that in the dulce de leche? Yeah, come on. We're in Vegas here. They have like some incredible. You go to Broadacre swap meet.
Right? You just stick the whole can on the stove, right? You turn that into the brown caramel.
I've had churros that have been like dulce de leche and condensed milk. And
How about that? Right on the snow cone, right?
Fantastic.
But that's not what we're talking about here.
Well, let's get into our ratings. So as you guys know, we do a 3-tier rating system. We use the categories of nose, taste, and value. They each get a 0 to 3 score. Half-point increments are okay for a total of 90 or 9 to 90. We just had a 0 on it. And then you give 1 point for a blown away bonus. So
you want me to start off?
Please. I was going to say kick us off with the nose.
Can I just go all the way through?
Yeah, and if you could give me a little pour. If
you want a
little
more? A pour.
Actually, I'm going to do it because you have quite the heavy hand.
I am
no offense.
I am a heavy hand.
But please go into your score.
All right. So I'm going to lay it down for you. Honest review. I'm going to start by saying I like this. I actually do like this. If I saw Bottled and Bond on the shelf as an option or on the menu as an option, I would probably consider it.
Well, think about the price point, dude. $40 for this. Is this not a flipping value or what? I was going to get to that when I talk about my value.
No, I would consider this.
2024 for $40.
It's huge. A Bottled and Bond, right?
Yeah.
And I don't want to acknowledge we don't typically like B&B on this show. We typically when we look at 50%ers,
bed and breakfasts, we don't like.
We hate bed and breakfast. We hate them.
Yeah.
We hate 50%ers on the show. Typically,
this is true. I complain every time. I bitch and moan every time we have a Bottled and Bond.
I do too. I'm always like, you got to go 1% above or 1% below.
There's
makes
like a
difference. Maybe it's in my head. I don't know. But I like this. So if I saw it on the shelf to buy, I would consider it. If I saw it on a menu, I would heavily consider this.
Mm-hmm.
So I really do want to preface my score with that. Excuse me. The nose, I'm going to give a 1. I don't like the nose. I don't think that it's indicative of what's actually in the bottle.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to value next and just tell you that for a B&B product that is $17.92, a Barton product, I think this is a high value. I'm going to give it a 3. I think that is a value, and that's kind of something that's really kind of pulling me. And then for the palate, for the taste, sorry, I just swallowed wrong. not like choking on it.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit in the world of 2.5. I almost want to give it a blown away bonus. Like I almost want to give it a 2 with a blown away bonus, because I am a little blown away that I like this bottled in bond, like that I like the B&B. But
yeah,
I think I'm going to just stick with 2.5.
okay.
So that gives me a 2.5 and a 3 at 5.5, and a 1 is a 6.5. But I'm going to bump it to probably a 75 out of 100. And yeah, I think I am going to give it a blown away. I am a little blown away, and I really do think that this is a 7.5, maybe a 7.6 out of 10.
Okay.
I'm surprised at how much I enjoy this, and I think the blown away, where I'm really blown away is by adding ice to this. I think that putting this on the rocks
Yeah.
is
Good
kind of
call,
what
by the
pushes
way.
me over, and I think that's where my blown away comes into play here. Is putting this on ice is a winner, and that's not always the case. We alluded to it, and we didn't really address it. So I want to take a moment to just address that. A lot of times we do put our bourbons and whiskeys on the show on ice, and it enhances that acrid, peppery, oaky undertone that you don't want. Some of those charred barrel flavors. But here, this really brings out the sweet tones, and not in a bad way, in a really pleasant way that makes this really enjoyable. So I do think that's something that brings, I think, blown away here into play. So yeah, I'm going to go with 7.6 out of 10, 76 out of 100. I think this is delightful, and has me kind of questioning why I'm not drinking more 1792, why I'm not putting more Barton product into my lineup. So that's my score. There you go.
That is a fantastic score. I was typing away, so if you could tell me what your score was again.
7.6 out of 10, 76 out of 100.
Okay. All right. I'm putting Chris Conrad wanted to know some. I said sweet prices. I meant to write sweet wheat.
Those are some sweet prices.
So he wanted to know what the prices are between the different batches. So I said small proof comes in at around 30. Bottled and bond is around 40. Single barrel, I think I mentioned it last week, 40 to 50.
I would say that's probably $50.
Full proof is like 50 to 60. The 12 year is where it gets a little jumps up to 100 to 150. Yeah. And then the sweet wheat is 40-ish. So they're incredibly reasonable, all of them. So the 12 year I can't answer to yet because we haven't had it yet.
I want to address that though. But yeah, again, we're going to go back to your kind of rule of thumb of 10 years or $10 per every year it sits on the shelf.
Yeah.
So it's 120.
You think about 4. There's no age statement, but bottled and bond has to be a minimum of 4 years. So let's just say 4 years.
But at the 12, right? That's what I'm saying, for the 12 year.
Yeah.
And again, that doesn't mean that everything in that is 12 years. It's not a 12-year-old product. It has up to 12-year-old juice in it.
Right. Could be 1% 12-year juice.
Correct. It could be really minimal.
4-year.
But I think that's a good rule of thumb.
All right, so I'm going to jump into my score here.
So lay it on us.
I'm going to give nose a 2. I thought the nose was just kind of like, okay. I'm not going to drop it any lower because I do like that sweetness.
Okay.
Conflicting though, like I would almost give it a 3, but that like peppery caramel sweetness.
Wow.
I don't know that I'm a huge fan of, so I'm giving that a 2. For the taste, 3. I'm giving it a 3. I really liked it.
What?
I know.
What?
It's starting to be like 1792 is like my undiscovered favorite distillery.
This is amazing.
I know.
Okay. Continue talking.
Yeah.
Hi.
And then, you know what? Scratch that. Hold on. I'm thinking about this here some more.
You can continue. This is pure emotion.
I'm going to give the value a 3 and taste a 2.
Are you sure?
And yeah, so
you're a little blown away,
and then I'm gonna give it a blown away bonus to give me an 80. That's what I want I want to give this an 80.
Oh my god!
I'm giving this an 80.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it a few points more than you because I think we're 70s.
Okay.
And I'm gonna give it an 80.
Dang.
I don't know what it is about the 1792 flavor profile in general.
Wow.
But like these would be the guys that I want to like talk to. Like this is like a solid distillery.
I love this.
I think it's because here's the thing. I think it's an underdog. I think it's underrated. I think it flies under the radar. They've maintained consistent pricing. They haven't tried to rip people off. They're not some NDP fly by night BS. They're not some.
You want to go to
You know,
Bardstown for my birthday?
we should go to Bardstown soon. I don't know your birthday. You have a big old trip planned.
Well, I mean,
I don't want to divulge.
I got some time.
We should do a quick. Here's the problem though. It's not a just whoop and back. It's like a couple days because you got to tour distilleries.
Saturday and Sunday is a couple of days.
You're gonna go to Buffalo Trace. We're gonna get completely obliterated.
Who cares about Buffalo Trace? We've already said Buffalo Trace doesn't like us.
Buffalo Trace.
They're not gonna care. They're probably gonna ban us. They got our faces on recognition. They're gonna be like, nope, get out of here.
Social media. If you don't fall in line, you are not allowed entry into this facility.
They're gonna stop us and then just at the door, and they're gonna be like, BJ.
Well, that's the thing, guys. This is great. You bring that up because it proves to our audience, our friends and family out there, that we don't sell out. We will never sell out. We are honest reviews, unbiased reviews, and I think that's what keeps our consistency.
I'm gonna say
and credibility.
How many bottles of Wheatley vodka do I have to peddle out there?
You know, we've shat over so much stuff where we've had people give us bottles. Hey, salespeople, distillers. Hey, try this. Tell us what you guys think. And we put it on the show. And
we've been very honest about it.
We've been honest, and we're like, it's not good or it's good, whatever. So this is like just really surprising me. Again, it's blowing me away. So I'm giving it that blown away bonus, giving it the 80. Again, it's a winner. So for those that came to watch the review, and there it is, go kick rocks and buzz off.
No, don't kick rocks. Hang out.
We would like you to hang out, but I really want BJ, and I want some of this
single barrel.
We're gonna get into the single barrel and do a quick revisit of the single barrel. And I'll let you pour that because even if you're heavy-handed, I'll be okay with that. That's good. Thank you.
That was good.
That was good. That was a good pour.
Measured hand. Somebody over there is coughing, laughing.
It's the peanut gallery back there.
I have a measured hand, and they're like, "Jeez, okay."
Peanut gallery.
All right, so this is the single barrel, and so please go back and watch James's review.
Yep.
All I heard was positive feedback from all of you, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
Just gonna read the back of this.
Please do.
In order to create this unique bourbon, the finest barrels are selected and tasted from the best aging warehouses.
Yep.
Only those barrels deemed exceptional are then bottled individually one by one. This preserves the distinct character of each barrel. The superior bourbon has flavors of rich butterscotch and caramel notes. Caramel, not caramel. It is spelled differently. Delicately balanced with hints of fruit and toffee.
Think about it. Caramel. I don't know if people do pronounce it like that's like caramel, Carmel.
And then there's caramel,
C-A-R-A. And all the food products are spelled Caramel.
And again, I think that's a liquid. Like there's caramel.
Yeah.
Caramel is
I think that we agreed upon this.
Yeah.
We agreed.
And caramel is something that you eat. It's like you got to chew
like
on
a caramel apple. I'm okay with saying that. But what I'm pouring on my ice cream is caramel. Or notes that I smell or taste.
Caramel is something that comes wrapped in wax and you got to chew and
like a taffy.
Yeah.
Laffy Taffy.
So I enjoy that they said toffee. So I'm not going to lie. I tasted this before the show. I really had to get into it. So I'm kind of excited to revisit it. We're drinking this great orders only beer.
Which by the brewery in Anaheim, California.
I actually think this is a great combination. So this is
the
original Pie Happy, which is a barley wine with apples and brown sugar. And I said, I think the beer is maybe influencing me a little bit because I got a lot of apple on the nose of this single barrel, and I still do. I get a lot of
fair
baked green apple.
Yeah.
And I think it smells amazing, but I also think that that's the toffee flavor that they were putting on. I do think that there is some brown butter toffee that really comes through in this. I thought this was delightful. I'm excited to drink it again.
Wet your whistle.
So
wet your whistle.
Wet my whistle.
What's everybody drinking out there? We have all these people in the chat, and everyone's quiet today. What's beverage of choice tonight, everybody?
That's fantastic. That's sweet in the right way. What a great lingering sweetness. And it's one of those that really coats. I think this really coats the palate, right? Very full bodied as a single barrel. And just caramel, toffee, sticky. Delightful.
And this is like I think $40 to $50 bottle.
So I'm just going to tell you straight out.
Like,
if I had to give you a score.
Yeah.
If I had to just give
well, that's score. That's the point of this is for you to score
fast
it.
Score, right?
Fast score.
All right, I'm going to give you a fast score.
All right.
I'm going to give the nose a 2.5. I'm going to give the value a 3. And I'm going to give the palate a 3. No blown away bonus.
Okay.
So that comes in at an 85 or an 8.5 out of 10.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm probably going to give it like an 87.
Do you know what I gave it?
No, because I haven't gone back and watched the show because I'm a loser apparently. Peanut Gallery.
That's a respectable score.
I give it an 87.
87.
An 8.7 out of 10.
All right.
I think this is crazy delicious. I'm almost blown away, except for it's a single barrel. If it wasn't a single barrel, I would be blown away, right? Because I think that single barrel means extraordinarily unique and very high quality should absolutely be coming from this barrel.
That's fair.
And I think those are things that are shining through, right? And so when you tell me single barrel, I have an expectation of unique and high quality.
Yeah.
So I'm not super blown away.
That's fair. Okay, that's totally cool.
But this is very tasty. So yeah. What'd you give it?
I was incredibly blown away. I gave this a 91 with a 1 point blown away bonus.
We're really close then.
But I gave it incredibly high marks and said it was probably one of the best tasting whiskeys. Whiskey of 2024 so far for me.
Wow.
I was truly blown away. Like, you watched the show and my reaction, I was so like, guys, when I started that show last week, I'm like, this is gonna suck, but we got to drink this dog water. I'll be okay with it. We'll figure it out. And I was so upset with myself, and I was like, this is gonna suck. And then I just sipped that nectar of the gods, and I was like literally blown away.
It's crazy delicious. Yeah.
And then you think about the value. The value is where it really got me. Because let's say $50, okay, at the high end.
Sure.
Wow.
I mean,
for $50,
I would just tell you that I wouldn't pass on this.
No.
Any place I was at that I could see this bottle at $50, I would never pass on this. I think even if I saw this bottle,
that's the bottle and bond. Can you hand me the bottle, please?
I think even at 70 to 75, I wouldn't pass on this.
Don't let them hear that.
I wouldn't pass on this.
I wouldn't.
Really delightful juice. And at a single barrel, obviously each barrel is going to be a little different, but they also they proof this down so that they can get some consistency. Every barrel is going to be different, but there's a level of consistency that Barton is going to put out. The only time you're going to get real uniqueness is when you're doing store picks. You're going to get some level of uniqueness, or club picks.
Well, and here's what worries me.
But it's still going to be in line, right? It's going to be in line.
Is it? That's what worries me. So this is a single barrel from a few years ago. This is like 2 years old. This is not recent.
I'm going to look for one, and I think we should put it up against this.
I challenge, and that's kind of where I wanted to have a challenge here, where I challenge us to find a 1792 single barrel that's go on the hunt over the next couple of weeks, and then let's do a side-by-side on the air, like first time. And
I'm going to say something.
It worries me because I think that single barrels, I've gotten a lot of inconsistency with, like, I even get inconsistency with like Buffalo Trace store picks.
So
and like,
I want to know what I'm thinking.
Some are bubble gum, and then some are just like pepper messes. Yeah. What do you think?
This makes me think of glazed donut.
Yeah. And you know me, like I talk about that. I'm like, oh, I want the
donut,
Jimmy box of donuts over here. Like that's like what I'm looking for in a whiskey.
Bag of donuts.
Bag of donuts. That's it. And it just, oh, man, it checked every box. I keep going back to it, and that's what.
No, you know what I want.
What you need.
You know what I want now? I want one of these barrels. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Ooh, I can imagine some things with this barrel.
Yeah. Well, like give it to our friends at Beer Zombies.
I'm not just talking about the bunghole. I'm talking about putting some stuff in it.
Stout.
Like, I can imagine some
barley
pastry
wine.
Some pastry stuff. Oh my God, a barley wine with some crazy adjunct like Tahitian
barley
vanilla.
wine, and then add some vanilla. Oh boy, that's trouble right there.
Listen, I'm talking to you, Bottle Logic. Hey, Bottle Logic.
Dude, we just talked to beer zombies. We
Hey,
got
Chris.
What is it? B.A. Baracus.
Hey, which was congratulations,
yes,
Beer Zombies.
Yes, I saw that Untapped
for all
post.
of the Untapped
all
awards
warranted.
that
all
you guys
valid,
have won all the way across.
all
It's kind of
incredible.
true. All that B.A. Baracus. Can you imagine if they took Baracus?
I think they called it was BZ Baracus. I think that was like the spin on the name.
Sure,
whatever.
But can you imagine?
No, and that's the thing. Like,
no, I can.
How amazing that would be. Yeah, and then you
forgive me for throwing out Bottle Logic, but listen, if you guys want to pass, then a good second is Bottle Logic. I can imagine them doing some stuff.
You're holding up Bottle Logic and Beer Zombies together. That's huge because you're looking. Bottle Logic is like top 5 in the country, so that's a big deal to compare the two.
Listen, you look at those Untapped awards, and it's obvious that Beer Zombies
Nevada
is top 5 in the country as well.
Nevada,
so congratulations, Chris.
No matter what some ignorant townies in Vegas say, Nevada has been long overdue for amazing beer. No matter what these idiots and bozos say about shitting on local, it's finally happened where local is good.
And listen,
and I don't want to hear, you guys know my sensitive relationship with the local beer community here in Vegas. I will not name names and do not say anything.
Okay.
Because it's very polarizing.
Okay.
But there's some true dog shit out there. And I've contested. It's like I've gone to some of these places and I'm like, guys, why are you wasting your money on this shit? Nobody wants to drink.
I'm just trying not to offend the entire community. What I was going to say was going to be to not offend everybody out there.
It's beer, so it's not beer shows.
Listen, I agree that there are some people who deserve to be offended.
Yes, because there's people out there that
deserve.
These are those people out there that are the hobbyists that are like, well, real beer drinkers drink this. I'm like, well, your fans and followers don't. So go save it for your garage brew that you put on your kegerator in your garage.
Does that mean real beer drinkers chug Pepto-Bismol to make it through the night? Because I've been thrown out of a couple of breweries proudly. I'm going to say it. I've proudly been kicked out of a couple of breweries.
I'm pretty sure we've been together during these ejections.
And it wasn't because I was drunk. It was simply because I was stating some facts. And I apologize.
Well, they don't want to hear it. And that's the thing. These people don't want to hear it.
I apologize.
That's it. They don't want negative feedback.
I'm not trying to offend you, right?
But it's a business.
We make it sound like we're being assholes.
Yeah, we're not. 100% we're not. We are truly trying to give honest feedback.
You asked me for my feedback.
The community.
And I gave you my feedback.
Yes.
Honest feedback. Right? Who am I?
And no, but here's the thing. No, you bring up a good point. Who are we?
But somebody that offended you enough with my honest feedback that you told me to walk out your doors and never come back.
We're both we probably have combined like 50 years of drinking behind our belts here. And I mean, you like how I put that?
Cool.
No, but seriously, think about some of the places we've been in, things we've had.
I mean, yeah.
Trillium, Treehouse, Hill Farmstead,
Delirium,
the brewery, Delirium, West Flatiron. Like, throw it at us. Like, we've had it all. BCBS, Cantillon, like all these names, all this beer, all across the world at all these beer festivals. Like, we know what's good, and we talk to our fellow consumers. It's not just us with some one-sided opinion. It's a group effort. I'm like, guys, you get a group of everybody together. Everybody's got a beer in their hand. Hey, what do you think of this? Oh, it's dog shit. Oh, it's great. Oh, it's dog shit.
And I really want to talk about too, like,
that's where we base this from.
We're not also just talking about just pour it and drink it. We're talking about talking to the real brewers, talking to the people who are behind what's put out and produced. So we're not just talking out of our assholes every single time. We're talking about what actually went into, what could have gone into 100%. The process.
Exactly.
We respect the process. I respect
and I get
the process.
It. And here's the thing.
As far as I'm concerned, a brewer is the same as a chef. And I'm sorry.
I was just going to say that
offends.
It's true.
That is true.
It's a food product.
It's a food product.
No matter what some bougie brewer says that think they're
the same for
they're outside of that category, but it's a food
product. This is a
we're
craft.
ingesting this.
This is a craft. We appreciate This comes from your mind.
Your
it comes
heart,
from a recipe.
and yes,
you are putting something out there into the world that is crafted and that you care about.
But think about that.
But at the same time, listen, there's I care about what I make Kraft macaroni and cheese, and when it's dog shit, I throw it away.
BJ, that's why there's extra sensitivity when people don't get the feedback that they want. And that explains a lot, and we get that.
Yeah,
but we also understand that you guys need to pay rent and you need to buy more equipment to brew that beer in. Yeah. And we're just giving you feedback of what works and what doesn't work.
I think about, it's funny you bring this up. I think about you. Have you seen the movie Chef? I'm sure you have.
No, I actually haven't seen all of it.
How in the world have
Uncle
you never
P's
seen
like
this?
Needs more garlic.
No, you have to say it correctly. It's said correctly like this.
There you go.
Needs more garlic. Needs more garlic.
Yeah, get that A drawl.
So in the movie Chef, right?
Yeah.
In the very beginning of that, he's got the food critic who's sitting there and he's like making some crap comment about the chocolate lava cake. And then he comes out and he's like, it's not just undercooked cake. It's frozen ganache that goes in the middle of the batter so that way when the cake is cooked, the ganache is wet. Yeah. And that's what creates. We get it. We understand that there's thought behind it. But we also understand that sometimes in both the distillery world and also in the beer world, that there's not some thought that comes behind it. And we also appreciate that's sometimes also how some of the great stuff is put out there. It is experiment. I appreciate that. Like sometimes you find the greatest things by simply throwing it out there. Yeah. Black Tuesday would not exist if it wasn't total crap that they tried to salvage by putting in a barrel.
Shout out to our good friend Patrick Rue. I hope you're doing well up there with erosion and
Patrick Rue.
Listen, shout out to one of the godfathers of stout beer. There's no contesting that. Yeah.
Right from garbage.
It's going to be a drain pour. Yeah.
You guys were going to throw that down the drain. And instead you said, you know what? Let's throw it in a barrel and
boil it overnight. Let's throw it in a barrel, try to save their business. And look what happened.
But there's also some people
worldwide phenomenon
who would create Black Tuesday base, not do that and be like, well, let's just add a bunch of adjuncts to it and hope for the best. That's the difference between art and laziness and just throw some shit at the wall and hope it sticks.
Yeah.
So rant over, I guess.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say that was a really rant. I would really say that like you're I love that's well said. That is well said.
Lazy versus desperation.
That's it's almost like you have a bunch of adjuncts on the wall and you're just throwing darts and you're like, all right, well, it's gonna be
let's hope something works.
Well, you bullseyed on the Gruit Ale and the Ube, so look what we're making. Just two bad examples.
You just
two examples of stuff that doesn't need to be made. I'm just saying.
God.
Just saying.
Hey man, it's gonna be purple. It's gonna be so cool.
Stop. That's all. I just want to leave it at that because I got to get my little poke in.
Fair.
But you guys know, everybody's had shitty beer or like a shitty whiskey. Like again, and I get it. Opinions. Everyone's got their own opinions.
I want to acknowledge
it's a food product and different tastes.
I want to acknowledge.
Sure.
I want to acknowledge that there is time, there is money. There is effort. It is a business ultimately.
Well, and that's
got to
get
return on what you've done.
And here's the thing: if you were independently wealthy and you could sit there all day and just make what you want, more power to you.
Yeah,
hallelujah. I'm happy for you.
You all can't be winners, and they all can't be winners.
But if you have a business and you have investors and you have an obligation to capitalism, that you have to produce stuff that people want.
But that obligation works both ways, right? You're not obligated to put something out there and then make it work. Sometimes you're obligated to go, you know what? This doesn't work.
Yeah.
This is burnt and we have to start over.
You think about it though, it's ego. It's a lot of people get hurt, man, real easily, and they don't want to admit it. Grown men, and that's way older than us, get very upset.
That's also where
when you say one bad thing about something they produce, I get it.
Ego.
They don't want to hear it because here's the thing: those people start these facilities and they're surrounded by throngs of friends.
Ego.
You like how I use throngs?
Good use.
So they're surrounded by throngs of friends and colleagues and everybody that loves them. And I get it. Then they produce some bullshit, but everybody drinks it and doesn't give them an honest opinion.
They surround themselves by yes men rather than a steel sharpens steel situation.
Bringing it back full circle here at the Barrel Buddies. That's what we're all about. Unbiased reviews, unbiased opinions.
James will tell me, like, sometimes I bring him stuff and I'm like, this is great. No. And he's like, no, this is garbage. I'm going to be on it. I'm going to be nice about it. I'll be honest, but nice about it. Where he's like, this is garbage.
Yeah.
That was highly,
but again, it's an opinion. It's one man's opinion versus another man's opinion.
But sometimes I have to hear
consensus.
Sometimes I'm just
level
excited.
Set things. You need to level set.
You're just excited.
Like, hold on, you're just excited. I get it. Oh, you're the one that poured the hops in that fermenter or whatever. I get it that you have some emotional attachment to it.
Yeah,
but it's not good.
Speaking of things that we're excited about.
Oh, we have a incredible schedule coming up.
Holy cow.
Why don't you tell everybody what do we have going on?
First on the schedule that we want to share with you is this Sunday.
Oh, this Sunday is going to be huge. And can I just mention something really quick?
Please do.
I just heard that, was it Darby O'Gill and the Little People?
Darby O'Gill and the Little People
are going to be
performing live on Thursday and again on Sunday. I'm
so excited for this.
That's a huge band, actually.
It is.
Darby O'Gill and Little People is actually a huge band.
When I saw that, I kind of had I was like, wow.
I'm pumped about this.
I was like,
we're gonna be showing. But listen, we're gonna be back. We're honored. We're honored to be invited.
Honored and privileged. It's an honor and privilege
to Boulder City,
Beer Zombies Boulder City,
for their second annual St. Patrick's Day party,
shindig party.
We're going to be, can we tell them? Well, yeah, they've already announced it.
It's been announced.
They've already announced
over
it.
And over again.
So they're going to be doing a huge Jameson tasting this year. Last year was Slain Irish Whiskey.
Slain Irish Whiskey. Shout out to Slain, which we loved, by the way.
Did love Slain. This year it's going to be Jameson. And how excited am I right now? I'm super excited because
I like Jameson.
I've already booked a tour,
and you're going to Jameson Distillery for your birthday
in like 4 weeks.
In 4 weeks, Ireland, my lad. You're going to Cork,
and so we get to go. We get to go do a Jameson tasting.
Yeah,
and you could too if you come out to Boulder City this Sunday.
Yes, if you're local and you're watching the show and you watch it before Sunday,
come on.
St. Patty's Day. It's a Sunday, guys. Come on out.
We're going
to start early.
We're starting early.
Let's say get there like 4 or 5 o'clock and the party's going to be going.
And there's going to be specials on their Boomstick Blonde Ale, which is delightful.
I love that.
So good, easy to drink, and it's going to be green. Come on, everybody loves a good pour some green beer on St. Patrick's Day.
You know what I'm looking forward to?
What?
At Beer Zombies BC.
Tell me.
They're going to be slinging smash burgers out of the food truck.
Out of Crispy Boy Burgers.
I got to bring out the fat boy moment here. But those Crispy Boy burgers, guys,
they're smash burgers and they're crispy on
but
the
I know the trick. I'm gonna reveal the trick.
Don't reveal it.
I'm revealing it because people they can't replicate it. I don't think they can at home. Their grill gets a lot hotter than anything known to man. Really, it gets, I think, above 500 degrees. So that's how they get this crispiness on that smash.
And they are crispy on the edges,
guys. This beats out everywhere. This burger is stupid good. So please come out this Sunday.
Come down.
You got to come down. I wasn't pleading. I'm like just saying you're going to miss out if you don't come out.
There's so much good entertainment.
Yeah.
DJ Castro is going to be down there.
He'll be spinning.
Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Darby O'Gill alone. And this is all free, guys. And they have a huge like plantation that they're on of like this gazebo and all these picnic tables. And it's out in Boulder City. I don't know why I call it a plantation, but I think it's like a plantation.
Charming AF.
It's charming. Charming AF.
So come on down because we'd love to have you. We're going to have a really good time. So that's St. Patrick's Day.
That's St. Patrick's Day.
Then you give the next announcement.
I was going to you.
No.
Because I don't know what's next.
You don't know what's next?
Hold on. I'm looking at the calendar. So that's the 17th.
Yeah.
Then we're going to have our show next Wednesday.
Yeah.
What's special about it?
Fine. I'm going to hold it until next week.
All right. We'll keep that as a surprise.
St. Patty's Day. Come on down. We'd love to have you.
Guys, Sunday, seriously.
We're
and
gonna be live on
and for
Sunday,
those that
so
don't know,
tune
Boulder
in.
City, if you guys are here in Vegas, it's not even 20-30 minute drive. It's pretty much to get to anywhere in town.
I might dye my beard orange. I'm just gonna say
green or orange?
No, orange for like a leprechaun.
If
we can get enough people to vote and comment, and I you know what enough people is?
1 or
15.
2. I was like
15 people, and I'll go all orange and carry a pot of gold and I'll throw fake coins at people. And by
does that mean we need to get you a green suit? You're gonna be a leprechaun here.
This is a great idea.
You totally do like the jig.
Oh,
yeah, do the dance and
should we hire some
pot
little
of
people?
Gold? I could make that happen easily.
Could you hire some little people?
Yes,
to chase us around.
Cheap.
Well, don't make it sound like it's bad.
No, for like a half day just to come hang out in Boulder City. The problem is you got to provide them transportation.
I'm transportation.
Yeah, we could probably get like 2.
We'd probably put like 20.
Do you know
people
who
in
we
the
need
back
to
of my
convince?
car.
Do you know who we need to resurrect from the grave to come out on Sunday?
God, who?
The one and only
Zach Dial.
Oh, that's
Zach,
our goal.
I'm
Zach,
looking
if
at
you're
you.
watching, you're coming out on Sunday.
Zach Dial. Hey, you know what?
I don't want to hear
just a couple of you.
I gotta pick up dog shit in the backyard. I can't come hang out.
I gotta cook dinner.
I gotta sit there. I gotta watch.
I gotta go to Costco.
Law and Order. No.
I think I gotta wash my bald head.
You gotta come out, Zachy.
Zach.
So if that's the case,
yeah,
then we could have the trio. The trio.
The original three.
Original 3.
The original trace.
I think we're gonna make it happen.
I love this.
Yeah. So look at that. It's coming together on Sunday. That's what we got.
Come out and hang.
So there you guys
come
have
out and
it.
Watch us.
Really quick, one more time. I love this single barrel 1792.
I'm like delightful. Well, that's it. That's it for the evening. We love you. Glad to be back in the saddle. See you Sunday. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give a thumbs up on this video.
It helps, guys.
We'd like to invite you to subscribe.
Leave a comment, even if it's like great show or whatever.
And if
you guys are watching already, just put like, love the show. It was great.
Share. Listen, if you already liked and subscribed the show, thank you. Could you go one more step and just share this with a friend?
You don't know you have to do that. You just share it to your feed. You just click share.
Hey,
send it to us.
Hey, you know what you might like are these 2 idiots that talk about whiskey.
That's it.
You might already know them.
That's it.
Do us the favor. It helps the algorithm, the algorithmic gods.
It does.
We'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. And that's that.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patty's Day if we don't talk to you, friends. And we'll see you next week. So for the Barrel Buddies, I'm James.
And I'm BJ. We'll see ya.
Missed that. See you guys.
Next week.